Hello students, myself Anand Singh. I teach mathematics to GMAT, GRE and SHE students. Today my plan is to teach a very important question of data sufficiency in GMAT. Let us begin. So this is the question on data sufficiency. A small library has books on 20 different subjects, including most prominently history. One afternoon, a librarian arbitrarily picks up 100 books for reshelving from among the books returned that day. All the books returned that day were borrowed during the past 3 weeks. Are fewer than 20% of the books the librarian picks up are on history? Now, this is the question that out of the 100 books he picked up for reshelving, are 20% less than 20% are on history? Options given are fewer than 20% of the books in the library are on history, and during the past 3 weeks, exactly 15 books on history were borrowed from the library. Now, those of you don't know how to answer this question, I will have to tell you the options. There are 5 options: A, B, C, D, and E. You will have to select A if statement 1 alone is sufficient. 1 alone is sufficient, but 2 alone is not sufficient. 1 alone, but 2 doesn't. And if 2 alone is sufficient, but 1 alone is not sufficient, right? Then we use B. C, we select the option C if both together are sufficient, but each alone is not sufficient. If both together are sufficient. And D, if each alone is sufficient. And E, if both together are also not sufficient. Right? We have to just check the sufficiency, whether it can be answered or not, right? Now the first option says that fewer than 20% of the books in the library are on history. Now less than 20% are of history. It does not tell us that whether the books borrowed were 20% of the total books borrowed or less than 20%. We can have both answers, right? Because they are talking about the books borrowed. If say we have 10,000 books in the library and less than 20% are on history, as the first option says, let us suppose 1900 books are on history, right? Now if you borrow 100 books and out of that 100 books 90 are on history, right? If you borrow 100 books, borrowed 100 out of which 90 are on history, it can be 90 on history, it can be less than 90 on history, right? Or it can be, we have another option, say history we have 15 or say 20 and other books say 85. So we can have multiple options. It means that 1 alone is not sufficient for rule out A and D, because as you know, if A is not sufficient, if A is not the answer, then D is also not the answer, because D says each alone is sufficient. So if 1 alone is not sufficient, obviously both alone or each alone is not sufficient. So we rule out both A and D. Now we go to the second option. Second option says that during the past 3 weeks, less than 15 history books were borrowed. And how many are returned? Total books 100. So it means that out of 100, 15 are on history. 15 are on history out of 100 books. It means 15 out of 100, that is 15%. It means it is less than 20%. So the question which was asking, are fewer than 20% of the books the librarian pick are on history? Yes, it is less than 15%. It means we can answer it using statement 2. It means we have the option B as the answer. So option B. So students, hope you have understood this question. If you have any problem, any doubt, just write in the comment section. I will get back to each and every student separately. Okay, I will reply with the solution to each and every student. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.